Okay, ready? Ooh, hello. Ooh.
Hello, Paginated Report Bear.
Oh, this is a real honor. It's another interview with a member of the reporting services team.
I see you went down the list, the
No,
bottom of the barrel.
that is not true. You just happened to not be here when I was asking folks. So trust me, some have turned it down. So,
Could never turn down.
I knew you would be a willing participant. But welcome everyone. I'm here with Mr. Rhys Schmidtke, reporting services senior engineer. Correct?
Yes.
Yes. So welcome to Paginated Report Bear interview series number 10. So the big 1-0.
Ooh,
Congratulations.
I'm excited.
So how long have you been at Microsoft? Actually?
A little over 8 years.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So have you always worked on reporting services?
I've always worked in the business intelligence kind of product group.
Oh.
I originally started on a long since dead product called PowerView, which was the precursor to what became Power BI.
Well, PowerView is still used by certain organizations. The Silverlight one and SharePoint, right?
Both fantastic technologies.
Yes, they are. Well played, Rhys. This is how you've lasted 8 years at Microsoft, with skillful political maneuvering like that. No, so that's cool. Do you miss working on PowerView at all?
Absolutely not.
Oh, okay. So,
No, because then I wouldn't be able
That's
to
true.
work with the
That's
wonderful RDL folks.
Yeah, that's true. Well, it was technically RDLX, right?
Yes.
Yes, that's true. So, technically, it's still RDL, but actually, speaking of the RDL folks, what has been your favorite feature working on reporting services?
I think the favorite so far, getting the stuff in the cloud has been fun.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And refreshing on-prem when we did the 2016 facelift.
The 2016 release was a really
fun
cool
one.
Yeah, no, that was the first one that
People were excited.
Yes, people were very excited. Well, were they more? So that's an interesting question. Were they more excited for 2016 or Power BI Report Server?
Power BI Report Server.
Yeah, I think that's true. I think that's true. Power BI Report Server, I've never quite seen the demand for a product quite like that.
I think
in terms
2016 was a surprise. It was a
Yeah, 2016
surprise.
was a surprise. I think the interesting
crept
thing
up on
there,
people.
A lot of the stuff that one of Mr. Chris's former colleagues, Ricardo Moody, would go and present some of the stuff in the context of 2016, like, ooh, look, you can move around parameters and get rounds of applause. That's very difficult
You know,
to match the bar.
You have to give the people what they want.
that had been set at that point, where you would get full rounds of, like, you can print, and he'd get standing ovations. Like, yes, I miss those days in terms of the level setting or expectation setting that we had done at that time. So what you mentioned the cloud stuff for Paginated Reports. What are you working on right now? What feature area have you been working on?
People will soon be able to subscribe to their Paginated Reports and
Well,
get a copy of all that important stuff in their inbox every morning,
Well, they can already do that, right?
but with lots of parameters.
Yes, no. The initial parameter stuff went out, but I know you've been working on some additional improvements. And Rhys always has other ideas on things we can improve that he passes along to the PM.
And gets into
Whether the PM likes
delightfully
it or
angry
not.
fights about.
That is not true. Rhys has a delightful sense of style that he often shares. That he somehow sketched out on a notepad, which I didn't even know you could find around here.
It turns out they exist.
No, he's actually does a very good job of quickly sketching something out that looks far better than what you would have thought could be professionally designed in such a short period of time. But no, that's cool. So what would you like, actually, speaking of that, Rhys's feedback for the product, he's very passionate about it. What would you like to see us working on in the near future?
I think there is a kind of a whole slew of stuff where like RDL is still kind of doesn't feel quite part of Power BI proper yet.
Becoming a first-class citizen of Power BI, you think?
You know, just fitting in with the other kids on the block. I think there's a kind of there's a kind of a bunch of stuff there around just making it a hell of a lot easier to create these things against UA data sets and kind of have as smooth of a sort of flow as what you kind of expect from
You mean
some
from
of
an
the other
authoring experience or just consuming content? Or...
authoring, getting it up there, kind of, starting to like link together some of the RDL reports so you can kind of drill through and have all that delightful stuff.
Interesting. So maybe
being able to kind of put in parameters and everything via URLs and that. And
Ooh,
start to build some stuff up.
see, that was the magic word
Is
I
this,
was
is
fishing
this
for.
getting you excited?
No,
Paginated Report Bear?
it is. It is, absolutely. But I think that some of our favorite viewers, Adam Saxton and Patrick LeBlanc, happen to bring this up maybe once a week, that we don't have that yet, and they complain to Paginated Report Bear and friends about that. So I know you are passionate about that area.
Well, there's a lot of excited people out there.
There are definitely, amongst my audience, there are dozens. So
So the entire audience.
that's hurtful. That's hurtful. So let's talk a little bit more about you. You travel a lot in your spare time.
Stay busy.
How come you've never taken Paginated Report Bear?
You know what? I just assume Paginated Report Bear is kind of a bit of a homebody. Like, it's kind of, he just enjoys the quiet.
Not true.
Life in Seattle.
How dare you, sir?
Seattle suburbs.
No.
I'm sure there's a forest somewhere in Bothell that Paginated Report Bear loves kind of hanging out in.
I'm not going up to Bothell, forget that. No, but you do travel a lot. Is there a place that recently you've gone that you found really exciting?
I think Scotland.
Scotland?
Scotland's
Ooh,
one of my favorites.
That's a neat
to get
one.
to.
I've never been to Scotland, but I'd like to try.
That you would fit right in.
Could
I'm actually not
you
sure
expound on that?
I'm not sure if they have bears in Scotland. I
I
don't think
was about to
so.
say that. I was about to say I'd be the exact opposite of fitting in. But
With a tie like that, you
maybe
just-
the tie.
just- yeah.
So,
Little
kind of
wide.
pivoting back, that was my attempt to get to know you better before I switch back to some hard-hitting questions. So, what's one thing you can do with paginated reports that people might not be aware of?
I think some of the kind of really fine-tooth kind of like formatting around tables, kind of visuals and that, you can do a lot with Power BI, but the ability to kind of really like nest content and matrices and
Comes
kind
up quite a bit, actually.
create some of that kind of sort of really fine detailed kind of sort of formatting in that. I think that's kind of a bit of an RDL specific stuff. And just kind of, it's a lot easier to just, if you're needing to kind of create sort of paginated or what kind of content you're going to print, being able to lay it out so that it actually looks reasonable. Is just
Speaking
much
of
nicer experience.
Speaking of printing, weren't you involved in the brand new print preview experience?
Rumors have that, yeah. Yeah,
Rumors,
I've had that.
I see.
Yeah.
So no, but
Scandalous rumors.
No, but that was highlighted at last year's kickoff for the public preview at the PASS conference, and it was very, very well received. People were really excited about it. So you should take a bow.
Again, these little things that get people excited.
Well, no, it's interesting. In all seriousness, Rhys has been around the product for a long time, and he knew very specifically some of the feedback that we'd received around things that people couldn't do with the product in the context of SSRS, and he was very passionate.
If when customers yell at you enough, it
No
eventually
one
sinks
would
in.
yell at you, Rhys. They yell at the PM.
True.
Yeah,
That's
true.
true. That's true.
So, where do all the white T-shirts come from?
They come in a box that I get delivered in.
Do you really? In all
Buy
seriousness?
in bulk.
Okay, no, because Rhys often wears an outfit very similar to this one in terms of his white T-shirt. So it's become
Chris
kind of a,
doesn't notice the subtle differences in my white T-shirt collection.
Chris is completely not here.
Paginated Report Bear, and I'm very disappointed.
Yeah, I'll admit I don't change my outfit very much either.
Again,
in terms of
once you're a style icon, why
That's
mix
true.
it up?
That's very true. Hey, so as a developer, what's one thing about being a developer that you like most?
I think in particular, like around Power BI, kind of this part of the building, sort of every 6 months or so, there'll be a pretty much completely different either problem to tackle or thing to go work on. So it kind of keeps things fresh.
No. What's the hardest thing about being a developer?
Trying to corral either like people or other teams or PMs into kind of
Never.
into either agreeing on something or getting a direction out there.
Not true. The PM is very agreeable with Rhys most of the time.
Most of the time.
Most of the time, yes. Okay, so who else in the RS team do you think I should interview?
Ooh, sort of interesting people. There's a to chat with. There's a guy called Jeremy who's always
So
great blast.
Guillermo has turned me
Sun-
down.
Oh, really? I
Yes.
wouldn't. That doesn't surprise me.
Yes.
There's a fellow Sandeep who's
So Sandeep
great
was going
chat
to be
with.
one of the people I asked next. Yes, yes.
Yes.
No, but that's great. No, I do
Possibly
enjoy
also, maybe someone a little bit more new on the team, like Sammy James. That could be
Sammy would be a good
different
one.
perspective.
Sammy's great. Yeah, no, Sammy would be a good one. That's a good idea. No, so
I'll put in a word.
you'll put in a good word for it. No, that's great. No, so it's always great to talk to the engineers who have a different perspective than, say, the program managers who Paginated Report Bear has been interviewing to date. And so this was really, really fun to
Well, it's
do a
great
quick
chatting.
interview. Yes, yeah, no, I know.
We should do it more often.
Really? Because you were 10
I may
minutes,
regret
you were
that.
10 minutes late for this one, so I'm not sure I'm going to ask you again. Okay, so thanks very much, everyone. This was Paginated Report Bear. My next interview is scheduled to be John Heidi, the general of the group engineering manager for RS, but he has not technically accepted yet, so we shall see if that happens or not.
I think you should just surprise him and show up in his office.
Yeah, guess what? That won't work. Okay, so thanks very much.
Thanks. Bye.